Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, I'm Holly. Welcome, I'm happy to have you here. Today I'm sharing with you a one-pot cheesy Mexican beef rice dish, and this is very easy and quick to make. But you will need 1 pound of ground beef, 2 cups of shredded Mexican style cheese, 1 small or medium onion diced, 1 can of petite diced tomatoes, and that is a 14.5 ounce can. Also 3/4 cup of water. The recipe calls for a half a teaspoon of black pepper. I'm just going to add it in just how much I like. And 1 ounce pack of taco seasoning mix, so choose whichever your favorite is. 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and 3/4 cup of salsa, so just use your favorite salsa. 3/4 cup of corn, and that is frozen corn that I'm using. 3/4 cup of uncooked long grain rice. And that's all you need for this recipe, and I'm going to show you how quick and easy this is to make. So you will need a large skillet, and just add the olive oil. And I like to heat that up, so my pan's already heating. And once the pan is heated through, I like to add the onions to it first. And I find this helps to cook the onions a little bit faster and get them a little bit more translucent. So it gives it a little bit of a head start. Then I add that ground beef. And I want to cook this down until that ground beef is thoroughly cooked. You can leave this in larger chunks if you want, but I like to kind of just break it up pretty good so it'll spread out into this dish. And once it's cooked, I always drain off any extra grease that's there. And what you will do is add the taco seasoning mix. And I like to stir that in. I like to kind of coat the meat so that way it seasons all of that really well. Then I will add the diced tomatoes, and the same thing, I like to just kind of stir everything in as I'm adding it. Add the salsa. And you want to make sure everything is well combined. Add the water and then add the rice, and just stir that until it's completely mixed in. That liquid is what's going to cook the rice. I'm also using parboiled rice, long grain rice. Just season it with the pepper, as much or as little as you'd like. And once you stir everything again, then you will cover this after it's been on a medium heat. And I turn it down to a simmer with it covered for about 20 minutes. And I let this cook for about 20 minutes before I checked to see if it was done. And all that water had evaporated, so 20 minutes was long enough for me, but you may, depending, I'm using parboiled rice, so depending on the rice that you use, it may take longer, because the recipe calls between 25 and 35 minutes to cook it. Mine was done at 20 minutes at the point of where you would lift the lid off and check to see if it was done. Now I'm adding the corn to this, and this was frozen corn, but it had sat out for a little bit on my counter, so it wasn't frozen anymore. And I'm just going to stir that in to mix it in with the rest of the rice and everything to heat it through. It doesn't say to cook it anymore once you add the corn, so that would be up to you if you want to add a little bit more water to it to do that. But it just says to add the corn and then add the cheese on top evenly, and then you will cover it and let it sit for about 2 minutes until that cheese melts. And this is what it looks like when it's done. I let that sit for about 5 minutes or so covered, and that was with the stove off. since all that liquid had evaporated. And the corn was fine. It was heated through. And I think that has to do with me letting it sit out for a little bit and defrosting. But it worked out fine. Tasted good. I just put a little bit of parsley on top. If you want, you can put cilantro. You can have this with some sour cream. It mentioned avocados, things like that. So anything you want to add to it, you can on top. And you can add a little bit of salt to it if you want. I just had a little bit of a side salad with that, with some raspberry vinaigrette on top. And it was a good meal. We really did enjoy it, and it did make enough for leftovers, so that's even better. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in seeing more like it, please click that subscribe button and the notification bell. That will notify you when I post new videos. I want to thank y'all so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you who watch my videos and take the time to comment. I hope everyone has a blessed day and a great week ahead. God bless y'all.